In this video, we'll be looking at how to create this in just under 10 minutes. The hand-drawn style of illustrations always adds a unique character to your presentations and makes them stand out because these are completely customizable to your own artistic sensibilities. And this technique that we'll be looking at today is for everyone to use, and it completely doesn't matter if you have sketching skills or not. I'm Salman, an architect and illustrator. If you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell icon for notifications. So let's get started. For this technique, we'll be using Sketchup, Photoshop and a digital tablet. I'll be using a basic digital tablet with a stylus pen, and it doesn't matter what kind of tablet you use. Using a digital tablet is not necessary, but it gives a great advantage of using pen sensitivity in Photoshop, which adds certain value to your drawings. Now I have a very basic sketch idea for which I want to create an illustration. It's basically a public seating area built around two trees, and it has a small pergola kind of a space in the middle which acts as a center stage. The design is built around a cube of 3 feet on each side, and the center stage is 12 feet by 9 feet. It's a very basic conceptual idea, and let's try to model this in SketchUp. Let's start by creating the basic center stage, which is 12 feet by 9 feet, and then use grids of 3 feet by 3 feet to build the seating areas. I'm using the tape option in SketchUp to build these grids. So once the grids are in place, let's use it to create the seatings around. I'm marking the two grids with a small circle where I'll be placing the trees around. Let's start extruding each shape with a push command, shortcut P, and creating the volume. I'm using variations of heights for each of these volumes so that it gives a nice playful effect to the seating. We will now need to look for a simple roofing design for the center stage. I'm using the SketchUp warehouse, and I'm trying to find tensile roof structures as well as column grids that can be used in the design. Let's place the column grid at the center of the stage and arrange the framing around. Let's make this into a group so that it's easier to work with. We can now bring in the tensile roof structure and start placing it inside this frame. It's going to be a 3 by 3 frame, so I'm copying the modules and fitting it in place. Now for the trees, you can search for it in the SketchUp warehouse as well. Use the keyword sketch trees and you'll be able to find these kind of hand-drawn trees in the warehouse. Let's select two of these which will fit into our design and download them and add it into our model. Let's scale it down to fit in and also rotate it a little bit so that it faces the viewpoint. It's always nice to create a variation in trees in terms of heights, angles or directions so that it looks more natural. Let's create a ground plane which kind of represents a roadway and a pavement. So this is the viewpoint that I like. Let's add a scene to it by going to View, Animation, Add Scene. Let's turn on the shadows as well. And in the styles, I'm choosing Shaded with Texture. Let's turn on the Profile and Depth Q option so that it has nice lines around it. We can export it from File, Export 2D Graphic. Make sure you go into the Options icon and edit the export options. Let's now jump into Photoshop. I've created an A3 size canvas and let's drag and drop the image into it. Let's adjust the size to fit into the canvas and duplicate the layer and rasterize it. So the first thing we'll need to start with is the line work. Let's create a new layer and rename it as lines. We'll be using the basic round brush and start drawing over the model. It does not have to be very precise, and you can use freehand drawings to create these line works. And we also don't have to draw every single line in the model, just focus on the outlines and the major ones that are closer to the viewpoint. You can keep changing the size of the brush so that there's a variation in the line weight as well. Next, we can choose the pressure size brush and start drawing over the edges so that it looks like a hand-drawn extension line. Again, this doesn't have to be very precise as we are trying to achieve a hand-drawn style of presentation. We could do the same for the trees as well. Just create rough outlines on one end of the trees so that it kind of gives the effect of light falling on it. Next, we can go into Pinterest and search for plants to add into the seating area. When you choose an image, you can just right click and choose copy image and paste it directly into Photoshop. Let's copy the same and start placing it around the model. Once you're happy with that, press Ctrl and click over the plant layer. This will now create a selection of the plants. Now create a new layer and using the brush command, start brushing over the selection. We can start with the mid-tone of green and then choose the darker shades to brush over the bottom areas and then use lighter shades to create the highlights. We don't have to worry about the shade being lighter or darker at this point because we can adjust that using the levels option later on. Now let's choose a concrete texture and copy paste it into the model. Using the distort tool, you'll be able to adjust it and place it as the pavement texture. We can use the polygonal lasso tool to make a selection of the seating and the stage areas and use that selection to delete the texture on it. Now let's add a tint of nice warm color to the seatings. So I'm creating a new layer, renaming it as orange, and using the brush command, I'll be brushing over the selections on the seatings. Similar to the previous one, we'll be using the mid-tone of orange and then darker shade and a lighter shade to create the highlights. We can add a shade of orange to the tensile roof as well and change the blending mode of this layer to multiply. We'll try to give an impression of a wooden texture to the other parts of the seating, so let's make a selection and use shades of brown to brush over them as well. Now for the trees, let's do the same thing as well. We can make a selection of it from the base layer and create a new layer and use green brushes to draw over it. For any coloring, it starts with the mid-tone, then the darker tone, and then the lighter tone to create the highlights. Let's add a shade of grey to the stage as well. We'll also add a shade of grey outside to give an impression of the road texture. Now instead of using the darker tones, let's use an eraser tool and remove off the corners to give an impression of a faded drawing. Now let's add a background layer of sky by selecting a rectangle and adding a blue shade to it. We can change the blend mode to multiply and drag the sky layer below the base image of the model that we are working on. Let's add a nice sketchy outlines to the background sky as well, and the sky texture by itself is looking too flat, so let's select it and make a nice marker kind of effect to it as well. The next thing would be to add humans as well. We can jump into Pinterest and start selecting these humans, just copy paste them directly into the model. Now similar to what we did, let's merge them together as the same layer. Press Ctrl and click on the layer which will make a selection. We'll then create a new layer and start brushing over the selection. Now that we've added colors to most of the elements, we can now adjust it by using the exposure and level command to get a nice balance and contrast with the colors. Some additional line work could enhance the drawing as well, so I'm using the pressure sensitive brush to draw these lines. The next part is where we add the dimensions. On a new layer, let's draw these dimension lines and write the text just on top of it. Next comes the annotations. For this, we can again use these kind of sketchy arrows to mark them. I'm adding a little white lines on these elements so that it stands out in the composition. We can again keep adjusting the contrast of each element as per your liking. Again, there are no set rules for this. You can adjust them based on your artistic decisions. Finally, you can create a new layer called shadows, change the blend mode to multiply, and use the basic brush to draw around each of the element. This will create a nice depth to each element and make them pop out. And then you can do the same with highlights as well by creating a new layer and changing the blend mode to overlay and just brush over the areas where you want light to fall. We can then add smaller elements to it like birds flying around or a branch of tree in the foreground. And with that, the illustration is done. So that was it from this technique, and I hope you found this to be helpful. If you did, please hit that like button and share it with your friends. Comment down below if you have any questions and I'll be happy to answer them. You can follow me on Instagram and the handle is right here. I'll see you on the next one.